Everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing something different. Mortal Kombat 1. I bought the game on the only platform that I could buy it on, and that's the Switch. So I do have a laptop, but it's not qualified enough to be able to play Mortal Kombat 1. I can play Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 11, but I can't play Mortal Kombat 1. It's not high enough, like CPU and everything. I don't have a PS5 yet, and I don't have an Xbox Series X or S. So, I bought it on the only port that I was able to buy it on, the Nintendo Switch. I have a Switch, and so I decided, you know what, let's get Mortal Kombat. So that's exactly what I did. I got Mortal Kombat 1, and the reviews that I'd seen on it just before I got the game were very bad. Everyone was making out that the game was like the worst thing they've ever played on the Switch, and it's not worth it. I have a different opinion at that. I don't think Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch is very bad. I do see some of the points that they were trying to make on those reviews, and some of them, yes, in a sense, were true. Before I even watched those reviews, I went into Mortal Kombat knowing full well that the graphics weren't going to be as good as the PC version, the PS5 version, and the Xbox version, as the Switch hasn't got as powerful of a processor as those consoles I've just named. So sometimes in the story mode, like what they said, it would buffer. Like the cutscenes would cut out for like 1 second, and then they would come back, and then it would like blur sometimes for like a second as well. It didn't bother me that much, as one, I'm not a very picky person, and two, it's just like, oh well, if it's only for a second and I'm not like missing like tons of dialogue, I don't really care. So I'd say it happened to me about 20 times throughout the story mode. Wasn't too bad. But yeah. And the other thing that everyone was saying that was really bad was the fact that the game crashes. So it would load the story mode, it would load everything else, but then as soon as you start trying to play anything, it crashes. So for me, I haven't had an issue really with crashing. I've had one crash where the game exited itself, and then it wouldn't let me start it up again immediately. I had to wait a second. Then I went back in the game, and I never had a problem again. So I don't know why other people are having more crashes. Maybe it's regions or whatever it is. But I must say, it's not as good as Mortal Kombat 11 in some aspects of, like, yeah, the graphics were the same in Mortal Kombat 11 when it comes to like fights and things, but they were slightly better, the graphics, and it wasn't trying to run it as hard as Mortal Kombat 1 was. And the other thing that people were talking about was the online issues. I don't have any online issues. Like, for some people, the online would be like, it wouldn't even load up. Like, even if you're connected to the internet, it just would say that you're not connected. I don't have that problem. I've got a Switch membership for a year, and I've not had a single issue. I've not played online though. I can't say too much, but I mean, like, it would just like say in the menu that you've lost connection, or would you like to reconnect? I had that once, and then ever since then, it's been alright. But to be fair, I don't have the best connection upstairs anyway, which I'm at now, so the Wi-Fi isn't amazing. So it's easier to get that. But with some people, that like the Mortal Kombat 1 won't even work correctly. So I could just be part of the lucky few that the game is actually working for. Because I know that quite a lot of people that made these reviews were from the USA, which I'm not. I'm from the UK. So overall, let's talk about the game overall rather than just the Switch. So to be honest with you, when it came to the actual story mode, the first four chapters I was bored out of my mind. The only time that I got actually got interested in the full-on game was when you played as Raiden to start the tournaments. I enjoyed that part, and then as time went on, I didn't get any bored at all from that point onwards. I absolutely loved it. I thought the story mode was very good, and I get what they were probably going for, like a slower build-up sort of thing than what they did with Mortal Kombat 11, which was just go straight into it, all the action and things. Um, yeah, I did enjoy the story mode, and as time went on, uh, like with the whole ending and all of that, and they nailed that. They absolutely nailed the ending very well, and I like how it continues on with Mortal Kombat 11, and that's what I like about the Mortal Kombat games. Each one continues off the other. It's not like setting it up in a random place or anything else. It's just like it continues straight on. So like you have Mortal Kombat 9, which was like the first main story mode that we had. I'm pretty sure that wasn't like PS2 era. That was like the first one that came out on Xbox 360 and PS3. Um, that was probably one of the most basic story modes I'd ever seen, especially when it came to Mortal Kombat. It was a good one by all means, but it's not my top tier on the list of best Mortal Kombat story mode. Then Mortal Kombat X follows straight on from that, and then at that point the graphics had improved quite well, much better. Then Mortal Kombat 11 just went on straight after that, and it was absolutely fantastic. And then we got Mortal Kombat 1. Yes, I felt like, and this is spoilers, so if you don't want to know and you want to play it for yourself before doing that, that's absolutely fine because we're still on the first week of release. I liked how Liu Kang brought in all of the other Hourglass protectors and other heroes from other timelines, and the fact that they were so mushed up, like they would have Quan Chi mixed with Sub Zero or something like that. So he has his like Quan Chi's powers, but he would have Sub Zero's as well, and the fact that we found out that that Shang Tsung that Liu Kang was fighting, um, he thought he had died because at the end of Mortal Kombat 11 you choose which side you want to go for, Liu Kang or Shang Tsung. I did both. I did Liu Kang first and then Shang Tsung, but it turned out that it split. So it was split into two different like timelines of where Liu Kang had won or Shang Tsung had won. And so these timelines had split and they've been living through the same time as each other, but things were happening differently. Um, and so they found that out, and you have to like basically fight those alternate duplicates of the evil versions. Um, but realistically, I felt like that was probably one of the best story modes I've ever played. Obviously, the first bit for me was quite boring. I'm not sure if people would agree with me on that. I didn't skip any of the cutscenes. I usually don't unless I know the game. So when I played Injustice on my PC, because I'd already played it multiple times on the Xbox 360 and I played it on the PS3 and on the Wii U, I just skip the cutscenes and I get through the game within an hour, like all the battles and everything. Same with Injustice 2, and yeah, I've only played Mortal Kombat X once, but yeah, that's what I usually do when it comes to those sort of games. Since it was my first playthrough, I didn't cut through any of the cutscenes. I just waited it out and I played the 6-7 hour story mode that it was. I didn't lose a single match in the games that I've played so far. Um, because usually before I go online, like I did with MK11, I like to get better. Like I don't just because obviously Mortal Kombat 11 there is a combat system, and I've learned how to work that system. Mortal Kombat 1's combat is a bit different for me, so yes, I can transfer some of my skills over from Mortal Kombat 11, but Mortal Kombat 1 ultimately is for me a lot harder to connect combos than Mortal Kombat 11 was. So I do appreciate Mortal Kombat 1, and it has upgraded quite a few things. Um, but it's overall it is a good game, especially the Switch version. The only thing that really did annoy me though was at the end when you called Armageddon, which was actually probably the best thing I've ever seen with Mortal Kombat they've ever done. You choose from the entire character roster what character you want to take down Shang Tsung with. So it's not like you have to choose between the two like you did in Mortal Kombat 11. You can just choose any character and it will play along with that character. But every time I would do a battle, I would then have to wait for it to render me into another cutscene, and I would get a black screen with the Mortal Kombat logo. Um, and that was really annoying because I had like 10 battles in that segment, and each time I would have to wait like 30 seconds just for it to load me into the next match. And it kept switching between cutscenes and then back to you're about to battle again. And so obviously the graphic changes weren't very good, and the transitions weren't very good, and sometimes the textures didn't load in correctly. Like Shang Tsung randomly lost his hair at one point and then he got it back. And yeah, I get, like I said before, that's not the main issue for me because Mortal Kombat is genuinely a big game, and it didn't take me very long to download it, just probably because I have good Wi-Fi. But it only took me an hour and a half for the game to fully download onto my Switch. Um, yeah, I've played Invasions as well. Everyone's saying that they had issues with it and they kept, getting kicked out of Invasions when you're playing the Switch port. I haven't. I've been fine with Invasions. Um, so overall, I would give this game a 7.5 out of 10, I think. I haven't played the online yet, and I have played multiplayer, like local multiplayer, and I have played the story mode, and I have done invasions. The one thing that does really annoy me about this game, though, that they did in Mortal Kombat 11 really well, was the intros. The fact that they've taken them out now has upset me because you just get like this. It was like Mortal Kombat 9 where you didn't get to talk. You just like it wasn't an issue because obviously I knew that that was an older game, so they probably didn't have that idea. Same with Injustice, they didn't have that either. I liked with Mortal Kombat 11 that they have the intros for each character, like kind of like bantering or whatever before. Now in Mortal Kombat 1, you have something called cameos, which is like a tag-in, and you have that with every single match you play. It's not just in the story or anything that you get it with local multiplayer. Because I tried playing local before, just to get some CPUs to see what roster we had and things like that. Um, and yes, I do find some of the characters easy to use and some of them not. So for me, I'm not very good as Melina, for example, but I can play as Scorpion very well, like I did with Mortal Kombat 11. I have the whole Ultimate Edition of Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 1, I'm gonna wait because I do want to really play as Homelander, but he's not going to come out till 2024, like in springtime, so like May, April, something like that. He's not going to come out until, so I'm not going to buy the Ultimate Edition yet or the DLC pack yet. As Omni-Man, yeah, he's alright, but he's not like my main concern as to play as the character. But yeah, I did say it was 7.5. Graphics, yeah, I expected them not to be amazing, but yes, that's what they are. Um, and gameplay wise, I find combos a bit harder to land than Mortal Kombat 11. I'm very good at Mortal Kombat 11, and I'm not boasting here, but I'm quite good at the game, as I've been playing it for years. Um, I've been playing it for like 4 years now, something like that, ever since I got my Switch, which was like 2020 or something like that. Ever since I got my Switch, I've been playing Mortal Kombat 11. Um, and then I just was like, I need to get Mortal Kombat 1 because I've played all the others. I really want to try out story. But yeah, I probably will go through all of them again, but not at the moment. I will probably go through Mortal Kombat 9, then go to Mortal Kombat X, and then Mortal Kombat 11, and then back to Mortal Kombat 1. But since I've just played Mortal Kombat 1, I'm probably not going to do that. I'll probably do it in a year or so. But yes, I do think that Mortal Kombat for the Switch is worth it. Some people will get unluckier, and some because like if you have like the oldest model of Switch, it's not going to run as well. Like if you got like when the Switch first came out, um, it like its older models weren't ever supposed to run Mortal Kombat anyway. I don't think they were more for Mario and things like that. So like you can play quite a lot of games on there, but it will lag a lot harder, and it probably will be a lot harder on the firmware and things like that than it would be on the one that I've got. So I've not got the Switch OLED, but I've got the latest edition of Switch before the OLED. So I've got the later one, but I do intend to at some point replace this Switch with an OLED because an OLED um, would be a lot better with the fact that it's got a bigger screen and stuff, and I do like the look of the OLED a bit more. And plus, all my data and everything will be saved as I've got a micro SD card of 1 TB. So all I would have to do, log into my account, and then re-download all my games to that SD card. And then overnight, all my games will have been downloaded. I have loads of games on my Switch, so it will take some time, but overall, it will get it done. But anyway, Mortal Kombat is a good game for the Switch, and I see why they released it, and it is buggy, yes, but I also guarantee that there will be updates to improve those patches and bugs and things like that. It's just because it's the first week of release, people are a bit more critical of it, and I am critical of the game, and there are quite a lot of flaws that need to be sorted out, but it's not the worst game in the world. And so I don't think it's fair that people are judging it and saying that it's like really bad for the Switch when it's actually not. I feel like the developers did try their best, and they probably had a deadline of when they were supposed to bring the game out. So I do appreciate the work that NetherRealm have done for us and bringing out this Mortal Kombat. And I hope that the next game that they bring out is Injustice 3. If if you guys have continued watching this far, please like and subscribe. Um, I want to ask a question, if you guys can answer it in the comments. How comes the Injustice games are made by the same developers and things, but they won't put that on the Switch? Let me know, because I've always had Mortal Kombat, but they never brought out Injustice 2 or Injustice 3. Or well, not Injustice 3, but like when it comes out, I doubt it's going to come out on the Switch. So if you can help find that out for me, that would be great. There will be another Mortal Kombat game, and the only reason I say that is because they left on a cliffhanger again, like they did with Mortal Kombat 11. So there will be another game, but probably not for about another 8 years, because Injustice 3 I think is next on the development list, and it was supposed to be, normally it was Mortal Kombat, I think it was Mortal Kombat 9, then Injustice, then Mortal Kombat X, then Injustice 2, then Mortal Kombat 11, and rather than following the system, they've brought out Mortal Kombat 1 when Injustice 3 should have been released. So they are going to bring out Injustice 3, I'm pretty sure, but it's not going to be for at least another 4 years until they've polished off everything that's gone wrong with Mortal Kombat 1. which is mostly on the Switch edition, which they probably will give us some updates for. Injustice 3, we probably will have to wait for another 4 or 5 years for the development to be sorted out, as Mortal Kombat 11 I think came out like in 2016, 2017. So I don't know the exact date of when Mortal Kombat 11 came out, but I know it was over 4 years ago. So, because it was definitely before 2019, so it was definitely 4 or 5 years ago. So I expect a very long delay for Injustice 3. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I do hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please leave a like and comment if you're new, and if you can answer my question, that would be great. Thanks guys, hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.